Hey guys, Gaming Cyborg here. Um, I didn't, I didn't know how to word this video, but as somebody who now, for at least for 2 months, I've been, playing, of course, the units tag alongside this video, to Metal Blade to Bannerlord on console, and this is kind of an open letter. You can call it a rant. I don't care what anybody really thinks of what I have to say during the course of this video. I really do not care. But and I might sound a little butthurt with this, but I know the nature of the series is grind heavy. Oh, you gotta get that renown, but at least in Warband, when you did finally make it to vassalization, you were given you were automatically given property. You were automatically given a random property from the kingdom you were vassalized with. I've during my course during the course of my time with the game, you know, I am I kind of run into a wall. It's either my character gets is lucky to even get to Clan Tier 2, which is vassalization, or at least mercenary. And well, mercenary is not a problem, but it's just getting past, being able to go, being able to vassalize, being, what I'm trying to say is it was less, renown was less grindy to get. I mean, hell, you prat. I mean, in Warband, you basically all you had to do was what choose a noble background. You're already basically you're automatically a Bannerlord land tier 2. Yeah, you're already dang on, but land tier 2 before there was even anything on clan tiers, and all you had to do was select the top option when you were creating your character in Warband. Bannerlord, they took that away. Your It doesn't matter what your parents were. You don't get any like free renown from well, the last choice when you're creating your character when it comes to sandbox, it it gives you an option of like what was your biggest like feat, and of course, or the most you can start with is 20, and then of course you're on your own, running for hours and hours and hours when when most console players want to be able to get to the egg on nitty gritty, being part of a kingdom or having a kingdom of their own, and sieging fools. Getting to the siege battles uh, as fast as possible. I know if anybody watches this video, most likely you're not going to be watching. Nobody's even watching as of this live recording. But I mean, if anybody were to watch this, I would see in the comments, well, just play custom battles and just play sieges. If you want if you want to skip to the sieges and not have to do it with the middleman. That's all well and good, but I actually want to beat the game in at least in sandbox. It's not in campaign. Beat the game in sandbox. What I'm trying to ask, maybe in a future patch, if there's going to be like like of course it's going to be more supported. It's basically a new game as far as console, but could you at least talk to the creators of the Banner Kings mod for the PC version of the game to like help them help tell you guys at Taleworlds add some elements of Banner Kings, at least the custom starts, because because starting with nothing when the PC players when the PC players are actually you know all they had to do was press a few buttons, and, and they get and they and they can access every item in the game, uh, every troop type without grinding. Hell, they can even freaking max out their character, automatically get aliens, and marry almost anyone from boot up. From freaking boot up. You let the console commands not only in Bannerlord, but you let them in Warband. You let them, well, on the PC version. If you're going to lead them in the PC version, just allow them to be accessed in the console. Yeah, I mean, if there's a Mountain Blade 3 and you leave the and if you leave the console commands in the PC version, I mean, give whoever's on console the same common dang courtesy. You know, especially if you're new to the game and you really want to get started real quickly, or you played previous games and 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 you just want to get into the fun, uncrap. And anyway, not a lot of people are playing the PC. I mean, not a lot of people are playing the console version anyway. More people have the PC version, so a lot of the guides are run the PC version. Most of them are using the console commands, and there is not any explanation on how to really level. I mean, move up clan tier quickly for console without trade. I mean, you can't even figure out what places are uh, uh, what to town connections is really good trade route until you're about maybe 10 15 hours into the game, but 10 15 hours in the game, you really should be you really should at least be, you know, a vassal, a freaking at least leading your own kingdom. I mean, I can go 15 hours into Warband, but within the first five, I, I, I would already be a vassal, have companions, and probably have at least 10 to 20 right to roll. And that's 15 hours. I mean, I mean, I don't want to be spending most of my time trying to level up trade just because it's got all the renown perks. The main crux of the game should be getting into those battles and getting your renown that way. If if so, why not up the renown from battles from practically nothing to at least 25 per battle? I mean, minimum at least 10. 10 renown per battle, depending on who you're fighting, and the maximum would be around 60. I think the max is actually 50. I never actually got that because to get that you need either be beating lords, and you had to be so skilled with archery isn't funny. Not everybody wants to do archery. If you give people choice, don't put them in a situation where they had to be on the deck on a horse all the time just to beat big old armies and have to be totally outnumbered where they're going to be in their pockets ran all the time. I mean, it was okay. It was okay in the first one because you could. I mean, let's just say I'm playing Warband. I fought 15 looters. Okay, 15 looters, and they beat me. Of course, anybody who's played the Mountain Blade game knows about that. But in Warband, if that same band is still still around, you could challenge them again automatically if you chop down their numbers. But if the same thing happened in Bannerlord, you would be too wounded to even have that option again to fight them again and grind and, and grind that battle again until there's one guy, and you can of, of course the renown will go down with every guy that leaves. But I mean, in it really shouldn't be like that. Like, no matter how much they got, the renown should be the freaking same. You shouldn't have to be totally outnumbered, knowing that you're gonna freaking lose. A bull owning a horse shouldn't be your only option to save your dang on butt, or a lance, especially when fighting on horseback sucks. Fighting on horseback sucks. I understand the game's called Mountain Blade, but you also give people the option to fight on foot. And fighting on foot only works for daggone tournaments for some reason. You barely can defend yourself, and if you do have a massive, if you do have a decent sized army, okay, a decent sized army, and you outnumber them, you're penalized for it. You're freaking penalized for it. I mean, if you're not going to put console commands on there, at least put difficulties for new players, or for people who just want to freaking enjoy, or the good parts, being a vassal, raiding a whole bunch of dang on folks, and actually getting to the freaking meat and potatoes of the game, a at least a like a very easy setting where you can get bonus amounts of renown for battles or helping out notables and the like. You know, and you don't have to worry about constantly being captured and being and being being constantly captured and then or running for 400 hours on the save. You don't on pretty much every thing the experts have told you need to do, and you still not even land tier 3, and you're wondering what the hell you're doing wrong. So, seriously, can you imagine how frustrating that is? I mean, yes, I've had some some saves where my characters got married, my characters vassalized and all that, but I've never actually got to the point where I had enough influence while I was a vassal to get a whole bunch of fees. I've I've only had in my in in my time I'm with the game. I've only actually had one thief. My whole time, I'm playing the game. My whole time, the whole 2 months, I played at least 20 different 20 different characters. I've been I've been almost every culture except for Crusade because I don't do horse archery. After that, I'm not doing horse archery. Hell, I don't even like doing horse and lance. I like have my character on foot, running up to somebody with a sword shield or freaking two-handed weapon. Oh, that's another other thing. How the hell are you? How the hell are you gonna have a culture that specializes in two-handed swords and you can't even buy a two-handed sword? You can't even buy a two-handed sword. Really? 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 I mean, at least the Valandians have their signature two-handed weapon, the bill hook, is only available in maybe two places every every. Well, it's just what places where what city in Valandia that at the bill hook would be available, but it's super expensive. and there should be multiple bill hooks. But of course, there is lot mm, multiple bill hook heads, but you have to make them. You have to make them.
You still doing your thing, Jay?
Yeah,
Whenever you're done, the haircut guy is here, okay? Just whenever you're done.
yeah, I know. Sorry, that was my staff. Yeah, you can. I mean, the only time I was able to get a freaking buy a bill hook what was when I was doing my Sturgeon Smith bill, because I've been experimenting with different builds, trying to find a optimal build for myself that fits the kind of style of play I do. But when I try to focus on combat, okay, when I try to focus on combat, I still hit that wall. I still hit that wall. I do not know what I am doing wrong. So taleworlds, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Anybody who's going to be in the comments of this video, tell me what I'm doing wrong. I don't want to be focusing on trade. I want to be smoke. I mean, focusing on the smoke, which is supposed to be what you're supposed to be doing in the game. Focusing on the smoke, eh, and getting renowned through battle. But of course, that's going to take longer because you got to win tournaments. You got to win. You got you got to constantly be outnumbered in your fights, and, but they want you to have this big old army to take on all the kingdoms for you to like totally rule Arabia, or being like one of the kingdoms where all of the where all of the leaders, they're not going to hand you your fief. I mean, a fief that you freaking took for them. I mean, that's why I'm for mercenary, because you're not officially above all of them. But in my empire, in my imperial playthrough, I I took at least 7. This was the only this this character was the only character in which I pretty much I was damn near clan tier 3 when my save was corrupted. Yeah, I was I was clan tier 2 going into clan tier 3, and and I don't even know how. I mean, I probably got lucky. My character was married to Edith. She was she was pregnant at the time. I'm and I've probably only had one other character my start urging character after get married, but he wasn't vassalized even though no he could have because I was I was trying to start a kingdom. I was trying to start a kingdom. I was waiting. I was waiting for any big city or castle to rebel and just us I sneak in, take whatever city, but but it just took too freaking long. You know, it it took too freaking long. I mean, I've also seen your current well footage of your current PC like beta. So, and I'm asking, when does that update come to console? You know, with the hermit, the 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 alley thing. I mean, that would probably make things easier for me as far as like recouping troops without really paying for them, and, lessen some of the grind. But all I'm trying to say is you need to make it a little more easier for the console players since we are practically like 4 years behind. Well, people say three, but it's more like four. We probably only have like two people there. They're focusing on the console version of the game, and everybody else structure their guides like, oh, just do this. It's so easy, and I'm like, it's not. You can't. Nobody even has guides on how the dowries work, or gods on how to build ild relation quickly with these clans, so they actually pay you dowry for, or 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 they're for one of their eligible bachelors or eligible bachelorettes. I mean, the only time I got on a marriage proposal was, of course, when I was doing the campaign, and and the beast of a brother. You get people for the campaign. You know, he automatically gets a marriage. He randomly gets a marriage offer, but it's always just one. Like that should. I mean, you should have multiple offers coming at the same time from every single kingdom, and and, and you should only be you should have like everybody come at you as a suit, with a potential also, and I mean every single fat agent should do this, not one every once in a while, depending on your clan tier. Screw that. screw it, that, and it has to be explained. Like, one, how the heck you're just hanging out with either from on the Britannians if if you've been running around in Crusade lands for most of the game. You should be getting the main offer you should be getting is I mean for yourself or for no well I'm gonna say Northern because most of my playthroughs were Valanian and Nate or Nathanios. I forgot the other's name for the other cultures, but but the the first two offers should be a offer from from the the faction that matches your character's culture and 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 another one from the faction you spend more time in the area of because let's say you've gained so much relation with nobles from the cities and the towns from fighting bandits and whatnot. It increases the likelihood of a marriage proposal from you know from, let's just say you're Britannian and you stay around Britannian lands for most of your playthrough. You're role playing Britannia. You're you're protecting caravans from uh, um mountain bandits or forest bandits or wherever, and and the and the clan leaders are seeing this, and it just raises your relation with them, and then they not only give you mercenary contract or vassalization, vassalization or whatever, they also give you a possible marriage proposal, regardless of what anti what how much run out you got. It's based on the relation and the actions you've taken while in that area. That even that even makes it easier to progress if you're if you in this hypothetical like very easier like newbie friendly mode. I don't care if I mean if you do I mean if you did this for a hypothetical third game, you you can keep it to sandbox. You can keep it for the campaign, or hell, you can even add it uh, as a late life patch for Bat and Lord. But like I said, there needs to be like an more newbie friendly, and most of the newbies to the game are on console. And since we don't have the console commands, and we can't and, and we can't cheat like the PC players. I mean, throw us a bone here. I mean, for those who are gonna be watching it this later. I hope you weren't too butthurt from this rant. Jamie Cyborg out.